You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
Why the fuck do you need air in 1955 when you're working all day in a fucking factory or an office and your wife's at home getting blasted on fucking speed? Why the fuck does she need to cool down? Huh?
On that note, welcome.
Oh, you were recording? Okay.
Oh, yeah. On that note, welcome to this week's edition
Mommy's Little Helpers
of the Couch Brotatoes. Hey, I think every mom at this point has the Mommy's Little Helpers.
Not like they did back then.
Oh, yeah. The Desperate Housewives of the 70s,
well, it's like meth. That's how meth became very popular. Not crystal meth, but meth, period.
Right.
Amphetamines. Amphetamines. And it just became popular because it's like you're at home all day and a house is a finite space. You can only clean the fucking couch so many fucking times before you're like, fuck, I hate everything. I might be a lesbian.
I just think of the wrong...
I think it'd be okay if the color just moved in next door. See, it makes you think stupid shit.
just makes you think of the Rolling Stones song, Mother's Little Helper.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Mm-hmm. There's a movie you can watch called The Salt and Sea, and he just talks about that. He's like, truckers taking speed and amphetamine, and housewives doing the same damn thing, man.
What a drag it is getting old.
Yeah.
Shit, we need little helpers every now and then.
That's right.
Legalize it.
And speaking of little helpers, we're going to do something a little bit different this week. We were kind of discussing what little things we want to discuss, and Chris actually came up with a fucking killer idea.
Yeah, I would like to do this like an interview style. Since you guys are on the road a lot, and we had spoke at length a little bit before the show about the music scene in general.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good to give Discord and Spotify and everybody a good first-hand look about what some bands go through.
All right, that sounds good.
Well, just to kick it off, how long have y'all been touring? Like, if you like the first time you started to now, like.
I was in my first touring band at 17. I joined a punk band at like 16. Then we were immediately on the road like it's a year later, just doing up and down like the East Coast. Okay. So starting at about 17.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Villains is the only band I've like really seriously, toured with or have done runs with and things like that. And we've been like in the region more often than haven't done any extensive runs, but we've done like a lot of regional dates. We've been across the Virginias, we've been across the Carolinas, Georgia, Tennessee, a lot of the Southeast.
Which Virginia's best?
Oh yeah, West Virginia, best Virginia.
Yes. Without a doubt. First stop we ever played at outside of Charlotte was Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah, because that's where I lived for a minute. That's where that crust band. I keep avoiding the name on the main show because I just don't want to give them any credit. But the band was called Angry Youth, if anyone in the Discord or Patreon actually knows them. But yeah, I joined Angry Youth as the second guitarist. And yeah, we went from like one day in Roanoke, Virginia, drove all the way up to New Jersey in one day. That was like an 8-hour drive. Yeah. That sucked.
I think Roanoke was the first place I played at where somebody offered me drugs after the show.
Yep. Because since I was in Roanoke, that was the only other place outside like a few spots in North Carolina that I was like, well, I have connections up there, and yeah, I don't anymore. I don't like those venues.
The guy offered you drugs. Were they free?
They would have been, but it was one of those deals where
Dare was right. Free drugs. I thought that dog was lying to me my whole life. I guess he wasn't lying if you just played a fucking guitar.
You're not lying.
It was one of those.
Mikey gets offered drugs more than anyone else in the band.
Yeah. Hey man, you want to get shirtless and wrestle for some PCP?
Yeah, there you go.
He kind of mumbled his offer too. He's like, "Hey man, you want to?" But I knew exactly who was getting that, and I was just like, "I'm good, bro." And then he kind of gave me that look, like, "Oh, you cool? Like you're not going to call the cops?"
Yeah,
I'm
cool,
like,
right?
"Yeah, we're cool." Yeah, exactly. With that tone and everything.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Mm-hmm. That is the tone every time someone tries to sell you drugs or you try to buy. Hey man, we good? You holding? Yeah. Rabble.
And then I always just want to go, what? I can't hear you.
What kind of drugs, bro? You got that Sherm?
Very loudly.
That Sherm?
You got that Sherm, bro?
Oh, speaking of Sherm, just real quick, I was playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky's car, guess what his license plate says? Sherm.
Oh, my God, yes.
Haven't been offered Sherm yet. I've been offered just about everything else.
Go a little bit farther west for that.
Yeah. Now, speaking
of...
No, yeah, what were you going to ask?
Oh, no, just keep going. But you said you started touring early.
Yeah.
Had that been the first time you were that far out of home?
Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, because I was never, we never did like any of the school field trip stuff where I went big time out of state, any of that kind of stuff. I've actually never been out of the U.S.
Okay.
So it's like, I've still been just stuck,
Did y'all do that growing up? A lot of field trips out of state?
Every now and then. I think, the most extensive one through high school was Orlando, Florida, through the show choir in my high school.
Oh, that's cool.
The little choir out of Nutbush went all the way down to Orlando.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
with my half-ass guitar playing in the show choir band. How cute was that?
We went to my fifth grade class went to D.C. right before 9/11.
Oh, wow.
We were the last class allowed to go to D.C.
Damn.
in perpetuity.
My folks always encouraged travel and things like that too. I would go to Chicago with my dad to a baseball game, or I'd go with my mom to.
Hell yeah.
It's like after I graduated high school, my mom was like, "We're going to go to Italy," because like some friends in Arkansas,
That's right. I forget your family's well traveled.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it's like
the Australian drop bear conversation we had.
Right. Now, my mom and her family like to get out as often as they could, too, and they wanted to include a trip for me after I graduated high school to Italy. They did the same thing with my brother to Paris.
Oh, shit. Europe.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
That's the only time I'd ever been to Europe, and I only got outside the States one other time through my first year of college, where the school paid for a trip to Jamaica, because I was going to go to school.
Fuck you going to learn in Jamaica?
Learn how to sell fucking coffee and shit like that, because I was going to be an ag business major my first year of
Hell
school.
yeah, agribusiness, brother. Hell yeah. I was in 4-H.
Future fuckers of America.
I was a few FFA, 4-H, all that shit, man.
Oh yeah, I grew up in a huge, FFA town and all that. No, it was like with my family's background was always like plant science and stuff like that, cotton and soybeans and stuff like that.
Well, like Tennessee's a big agricultural school, just like NC State.
That's where everybody that went to high school was going to do. They were going to get into farm business or some form of that, or church. That was about it.
Well, that's all you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our folks, we were just so dirt poor. Anytime like school trips would come up, she's like, I can't afford this shit. You're not going. And then the most traveling I even did at a younger age when we lived in Gaffney, we'd go down to like Greensboro or Greenville every so often to like just shop or pick up groceries that weren't perishable and shit like that. It's just like that was the extent of us going out. The only time I've really like crazy traveled has just been my own whim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good way to be.
Then when we went to Jamaica, like the first couple, we were down there for 2 weeks, and we stayed in like.
Did you buy some coffee?
Oh, the coffee is so fucking good. Of course I did. It was fucking awesome.
Yo, you got that coffee?
You got that coffee?
You got that good shit.
Get that good shit. No,
All the way from Nutbush.
No, we were in we were in fucking Kingston, Jamaica, like Jamaica, like
the capital, ain't it?
Yeah, the capital of it. Instead in the university, and there were like certain rules. Where like you couldn't go like don't talk to anybody and don't go to these certain places.
Don't
and shit
lick
like
the trees.
Yeah.
Highlight for me being a music fan was going to see Bob Marley's place.
Ooh, see, I don't even give two shits about Bob Marley, but I would think that was cool.
And it was middle of the hood, because it was like Jamaica. Yeah, and they still have the bullet holes on the side of his house from when his assassination attempt happened.
Wow, damn.
And I'm not even a big Bob Marley fan either, but again, being a music fan, I got a kick out of it because there's fucking Bob Marley's Les Paul Jr. that he has, or Les Paul Special rather, with the 2 pickups and a fucking display case and shit like that.
Oh, so they've got set up where you can kind of like walk around it and everything.
Yeah,
got it.
Fucking nuts.
But yeah, it was just like it was kind of a culture shock, coming from, southern U.S., whatever, and then you living in Jamaica for like a week and a half. And then after we did all of our, curriculum activities and things like that, or get our education on, we went to Ocho Rios and saw the touristy part of Jamaica. Mm-hmm. So that was like that was the first time I understood the contrast between a touristy part of a nation and like the actual part of a country and things like that too.
Yeah. The Sands Resort ends at the fence.
Yeah. And then we get to so nothing screams Jamaica like Margaritaville and Ocho Rios and shit like that.
Welcome to sunny Jamaica. Hey, what's that over there? You don't look at that.
No.
That is a dead pig.
Yes.
We don't talk about that in the brochure.
Yeah. So you never went to like a field trip for school, like out of town or anything? Like anything like
maybe when I was like in elementary school, we all went to a zoo that I can remember. Actually, no, I do know that we went to Salem, North Carolina, or to talk about the witch trials and stuff.
Yeah, because Salem, it says borders with Virginia.
Mm-hmm. So I do remember going out that way one time, and the reason I remember that is something blew my little kid mind, or my rational kid mind rather, and just did not understand why people would even still need it. They were selling quills with the little ink pots, and I think I was maybe in second, third grade or something, so I didn't like fully understand how it worked. And I was asking the guy, I was like, "What is?" Because I had some money, and I was like, "What is this?" You're like, "Oh, it's a quill, and ink pad. And, there's something. You keep dipping it in the ink." I'm like, "Why do you sell this?" And like I even asked them, I'm like, "Why do you sell this? I can do this at home." And they're like, "Well, it's a specialty ink, yada yada yada." And I'm like, I've got a pen.
But the ink, bro. The quality of the fucking ink.
Yeah. Man, fuck that history bullshit.
Hey, I already said history was my worst subject. Yeah, but it's like looking back on now, of course, I can appreciate, why someone would want to get that. But like my little kid rational brain of being like, that's hard to do. You use a pen.
I've been to Salem, Virginia for their little thing. It's wild to look at. It's different from Salem, North Carolina. I can tell you that. That one's all witches and burn it down, and this one's, you guys like tobacco? You can chew it. You can smoke it.
And that's why I was kind of disappointed in the North Carolina one.
Up their nose.
And that's why I was disappointed in that one, because even Mom was like, "Oh, you're going to learn about the witch trials." And that was a crazy time. She gave me like little Cliff Notes version. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And exactly what you said we got up there. North Carolina, centralized fruit, tobacco, and yada yada.
Pigs and sweet potatoes.
Yeah. And that's basically all the tour.
And
that's all the tour's about. I think they spent like 5 minutes on the trials, but it was even for a second, third grader, I'm sitting here going, I'm like, I know more than happened than that. You can tell us.
It's two different locations.
Yeah, okay.
So you got like Salem, Virginia, and Salem, North Carolina, which became Winston-Salem.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Is the Winston 500, like the Coca-Cola 600 is actually called the Winston.
Yeah.
They got the
cigarettes.
Tobacco. My grandpa grew tobacco in this country, in the state, and he grew Camel's own Turkish blend.
I love it.
Unfiltered, baby.
No, like the regular field trips the high school would take us on would be just Memphis more often than not, and that would be it. We'd go to like there's this museum called the Pink Palace, which had a lot of cool like animal science exhibits and things like that. Which I was really into animal science when I was a little kid too. Yeah. I couldn't give a fuck about plant science, but
I got all to that. All that in high school, man. Once that came available, I took every fucking field trip. Went to the Carolina Dixie Classic Fair, which is nothing but a giant fucking tobacco fair, right? With giant horses and pigs.
Nice.
And they're like, "Hey, man, do you want to see a man eating chicken?" And you go across the thing, and it's a dude eating a bucket of chicken. Like,
yep.
And then it's like there are stupid farm stuff out there. Like, how do you measure a horse? Hands high. It's measured hands high. That's their unit of measurement. A fucking hand.
Okay.
Hand. That's how you measure a horse.
Taking out the variable of everyone's hands are different sizes.
There's a standard person hand, but like you know what I'm saying? It's like my hand, not a Cap's hand. But it's like this horse would be like 17 hands high. I'm just like, God damn, that's terrifying because that motherfucker is looking down at you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Pegasus.
Clydesdales.
Yeah, but like
I'll ride
you
you.
see these like prize-winning pigs that are like 400 pounds that are just like they're on a wagon,
overfed like motherfuckers.
Look at like that pig you see on King of the Hill.
Yes.
Oh, look, he fell over. But no, it's just to be a tobacco-free go ahead. And then we went to the state fair, which is just the exact same fucking thing in Raleigh.
Yep.
We went to the Biltmore House. That was pretty awesome.
Nice.
That is a cool little trip from here.
See, there's a very weird memory. I feel like my grandmother took me to the Biltmore House once.
It's just a big ass house.
Yeah,
but there's like so much neat shit depending on where you go.
Breweries and wineries and shit like that. It's real.
And the way the house is designed is a very unique way. It's like one of those murder houses, kind of.
Yeah.
But like every vent leads to the kitchen. So like as soon as they started cooking back in the day, every vent was filled with like cookies and pastries and biscuits. So, but it was built on blood, just like everything else in this house. They had the desk they cut out Napoleon's heart on.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and put it in a drawer because French are crazy.
Right.
Yeah. If I had gone, it would have seriously been like almost like formative years kind of thing. Because I there's those little flash memories you get about being really young. I remember being in a horse-drawn carriage close to Christmas time.
Yeah.
And that's a big time. And that's why I'm kind of sitting here going, I'm like, maybe I was at the Biltmore House when I was like 2 or 3. Fuck.
It's something I would like to go see again, but it is fucking uber expensive to go there. And they still live in the house.
It's like over $100 per person, isn't it?
Yeah, it's over than that now.
Oh fuck.
It has to be.
But they do have a weird McDonald's at the town. That's just Asheville.
Yeah.
Okay,
Asheville,
wait, what's that?
Well, Asheville has a very specific property design.
Okay.
So like when they put in a restaurant, it has to fit with the aesthetic of the neighborhood that they put it in. So McDonald's is not a fast food restaurant in Asheville. It is a sit-down restaurant that serves alcohol.
I got to check that out.
You want to get fucked up and go to the Biltmore?
I know what I'm doing this Christmas.
Take a couple of wine tours and shit like that.
Sip, sip, motherfucker.
Get fucking wasted in the McDonald's and go to the Biltmore house.
But yeah, it's built like a regular brick restaurant. Like, it's just,
Wow.
it doesn't have the big windows. It doesn't have the stupid fucking advertisements outside of it.
I want to go to a bougie McDonald's.
Yeah, bougie. Bougie. Get you a $200 Whopper or a $200 McDouble.
Yeah.
Makes you like those old ass McDonald's from the Ray Kroc movie where they're just kind of sitting around and just getting the burgers in like the little family picnic style kind of deal they had
with the glass all the way around the place. It's a 360 bottle. But no, we went to DC, which was wild because it was before 9/11. Everything was there. Everything was pretty cool.
Yeah,
the president just got elected, so everybody's
good time to be in DC, more or less.
Yeah, good time to be in DC right before September.
Yep.
But saw all that crazy shit. I went again later on with Ken and his cousin. That was a great trip, I will say. If you get a chance, go to it. It's free. Everything in fucking DC is free, except for beer.
Yeah.
And looked in that, like, you can go into museums for free because that's your tax dollars pay for it. But they have these little special things like theaters inside of them.
And they're all how much?
$9.
Yep.
It's an economic oddity. Everything's $9, even the beer. You can drink
shit.
outside. You can drink outside, which is
Was it Savannah, Georgia?
it's fucking DC,
New
baby.
Orleans? In New Orleans?
And
I
if
didn't
I
think that
believe-
with DC.
If I remember right, I think weed is legal.
Yeah,
Virginia now, yeah.
But DC is not a state.
I think it's
Yeah,
recreational.
It's
in DC.
recreational, but you still can't walk into a dispensary yet.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna walk into the fucking Smithsonian being in high as fuck. I'm like, holy shit,
mean, I
man, that
would.
went to the fucking moon, bro.
I would. I so would. Be like, whoa, dude.
I did see a predator drone up close, and I'm just like, holy shit,
Oh,
the
damn.
Night Stalker of Death is just like right there.
So I actually did go to DC once with an ex. We went up there around Thanksgiving time, and we went to the Smithsonian's. We went to the SpaceX one or the NASA one, and a few
there's-
others.
Yeah, the flight museum.
Yeah, and we spent a good couple hours just looking at all this stuff, and even like the fucking like statues and vintage art stuff. That I was just like, shoot me now. This isn't space or cool shit.
Just Abe Lincoln sitting in a fucking chair telling
Yeah.
me to treat people equally and shit.
Fuck this.
That was me at DC the one time I went. Was like, Mom, I don't care about the president. I want to see dinosaurs. Let's go to the fucking Natural History Museum.
Exactly.
Dude,
So-
that's still there. Like fucking giant ass Triceratops and mammoth and shit.
Oh yeah, like that probably has like the most preserved fossils in the country, or like on display at least.
I will say this: Ken's fucking brain went to shit on me when we went up there at the Smithsonian, the Natural History Museum, because they have the diamond.
oh yeah.
All right, so they have the diamond. Well, to the left of the diamond on the wall is this big chunk of raw copper, and I mean a massive chunk of naturally created copper. And Ken's first idea was, man, I wonder how much you get for scrapping that. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you fucking hick.
I mean, it's a valid question.
It's like, he's looking at it like it's a bag of fucking bottles and cans and some shit, like a homeless person.
It's like fucking Charlie or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one time I went to DC, did all those things, did not go to the fucking cool one that had all the pop culture shit.
Oh yeah.
the actual Smithsonian.
Yeah, and it's like I didn't even like fully understood that one existed until like
Smithsonian
after
Institute.
the fact when I started talking to people about it. And they're like, "Oh, did you go to the yada yada one? They've got C-3PO and R2D2 and a T-Rex." I'm like, I immediately turned to her. I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "They had what and we didn't go?"
Well, there's
So, we ran out of time. We didn't go to that one first.
When we went, they were just finished the African American Museum, and they were still working on the Holocaust Museum. I had talked to a couple friends of mine about going back just to catch the ones we didn't see, going back to seeing the other ones. But yeah, I will say, if you go out there, spend about 3-4 days, make it worth it.
No, I definitely like.
Don't
DC,
stay in
very
Falls
pretty.
Church, Virginia, though. That's a dangerous fucking place. That's
Falls
a
Church,
dangerous
huh?
place I've lived. That's
Really?
or I've been to, yeah.
Yeah.
But y'all never went to the coast of North Carolina at all?
Is North Myrtle Beach in North Carolina?
North Myrtle Beach is in South Carolina.
Okay, then no.
No, I've been to
Myrtle Beach, huh?
No, we would
Oh,
go,
Myrtle Beach and Hilton Head.
we would go to fucking Gulf Shores, Alabama if we wanted to do a beach trip.
Gulf Shores. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Really, y'all would bypass Myrtle's Inlet, Myrtle Beach, all of that, and go straight to fucking.
Well, if
West
he's coming
Tennessee.
from Tennessee, he's coming down.
yeah, true.
Going to the Gulf, brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
All that shrimping.
All that
Shrimp.
and that deep sea fishing sometimes too.
So you had to pass through Huntsville.
I don't, if we did, I don't remember, but
You know, because you see a bunch of rockets in the air.
we went to yeah, right. We went to Birmingham, Alabama for a week.
God,
during
even the
one
way you
summer.
say that sounds like racist as fuck.
It's Birmingham.
But like, I don't care who says it. Fucking
I'm sorry,
Barney the friendly dinosaur can say Birmingham, Alabama. It still sound racist as fuck.
This was like after the hurricanes too.
Yeah.
When we went down there, and it was just in shambles.
That's usually what a hurricane does.
Yeah, we did a lot of relief work. Went up through like youth groups and stuff like that too. And we went to Birmingham, and then we went to I forget where in Louisiana it was. It wasn't like New Orleans or anything like that, but it was another coastal town in Louisiana.
Well, like not Shreveport. Near Biloxi.
It was closer to Biloxi. I can't think of what the name it was. If somebody said it, it's
somewhere
like
off Lake Pontchartrain, somewhere else there.
Yeah,
which isn't a fucking lake.
No, but I don't know. We just kind of stayed. There wasn't anything like sketchy. We were around. We were also like really young kids, so like the counselors and like the adults weren't going to have us around anywhere sketchy or anything like that.
Yeah.
Even though we
They're
did.
not going to put you in some weird hoodoo voodoo bullshit. Get your soul took.
No, nothing like that.
We're not going to see
Where'd Cap
Nicholas
go? Well.
He went to go look at Nicolas Cage's fucking tombstone over there, and he got lost. He saw that pyramid and ended up with a jazz band playing there forever.
Playing that devil's cabbage.
Yeah, the devil's cabbage. Like Johnny Red Eye.
Speaking of dangerous, where you want? I think at one point we were also talking about most dangerous places we've been.
So, tours and all, even vacations. What would be one of some of the dangerous places? Like just some. And when I mean dangerous, I know it's a vague word.
Yeah.
I mean area that as soon as you got there, you felt uneasy, and then you knew it was going to be shit.
Downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, like we took we spent, I guess it was a weekend. It was a New Year's Eve weekend. Me and an ex did one time, and we stayed in the Hollywood area for the most part. But there was a show going on in downtown Los Angeles that we got tickets for, and we're like, oh fuck, let's take a lift from where we are to get to downtown Los Angeles. And
Lyft driver's like, man, you want some speed, bro?
Shit. Yeah, I can't remember what the interaction. I always try not to interact with the driver, no matter how friendly they are. Anyway,
they probably appreciate that because the drivers don't want to talk to nobody.
No,
give me 5 stars, get the fuck out of my car.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that drivers have slowly started kind of getting used to that. Because when I was first taking Uber, it was, "How's it going this morning?" at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm not responding. I don't even have coffee in me. Quit being so chipper. It's 5:30 in the morning. Read the room.
But yeah, Hollywood and all that in California is way different from getting into downtown Los Angeles. So we're like crossing the bridge and we see like all the big buildings, and like it's not very, even from the outside, it's not very well lit at all. And then you get into the actual like you cross the bridge and start going through the streets and stuff like that. There's barely anything lit on the streets too. It looks like a fucking looks like all those fucking like 1970s New York movies and shit like that too. It was
some NYPD Blues type shit.
I'm sitting there in this fucking car going like, are we about to fucking die in an Uber in Los Angeles?
Nah, Lyft, motherfucker.
Or Lyft, whatever.
Lyft.
Yeah, whatever the fucking the ride app sharing deal. Like I thought it was
out
bad.
Of Coke and Pepsi,
like
motherfucker. You just picked Cheerwine.
Yeah.
Okay, you picked the wrong one.
But, no, I was not comfortable on that ride at all, and that was like legit, nervous.
Yeah.
And we waited outside of fucking a fucking storage unit in Atlanta for like 3 hours before. And I was way more uncomfortable in that fucking car ride in Los Angeles than that experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was ever really worried for myself on that one. That was just a stressful experience.
Yeah, that was weird. It's like I wasn't in fear for my life at all, even though it was a fucking storage unit in the middle of fucking downtown Atlanta at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Most dangerous,
shady shit, bro.
Yeah.
Most dangerous for me, honestly, I don't. Like you said, danger is a real odd kind of way, but it's like there's no other way to really describe it. But I can't think of any situation that I've like put myself in like immediate danger and then kind of had to like get myself out of. The only other time I ever had to like get myself out of like a bad situation was, I didn't have all the info at the time, but like a guy that I knew in Virginia, he picked me up. We went over to his buddy's house. His buddy had a girlfriend with him, and they were acting weird. Come to find out, the girl had run from home, and the guy was like keeping her, at his place and everything, not letting the folks know, yada, 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 stupid fucking teenager shit. Well, we're hanging out all day, and for some reason, we decided to go like to the Roanoke-ish downtown area, and we went there, and within about maybe 10 minutes of just kind of walking around and chit-chatting, we hear, "Stop!" super fucking loud, and we turn around, it's like 3 fucking cops with her parents like fucking charging down the fucking walkway. my buddy and I looked at that and went, fuck, immediately split off in one direction. One of them started following us. And like, again, I superhuman strength when you're fucking feeling like you're going to be in trouble. We were goddamn jumping fences, zigzagging, all this shit. We finally got back to the car and it's like, couldn't see him and everything. I was like, get me the fuck home now. And it's like, he drops me off. I just stand outside, just like, walk inside. Hey, honey, how was your night? It was fine. I'm going to bed. Because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to play this off. My nerves are racked. They're going to think I did something, like drinking when I was not supposed to or something. No, my nerves are just shot, and I don't want to tell you about this right now.
Some morning conversation.
Yeah, this is a conversation to have in the morning.
I was kind of I went to Detroit a couple of years ago, and I was kind of like mentally preparing for it to be that, you know,
RoboCop wasteland.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, on the outskirts, it's more or less like that. You see a lot of that coming into the city, but
Yeah,
like the city,
it's very fucked up on the outside of town.
yeah, but the city itself was pretty cool. I think
You see all the dilapidated like Ford factories and shit. And GM.
we missed all that. We saw like there was like some rundown, you know, it was like in the 8 mile areas and shit like that we passed through on the way into it.
Oh, so you're going north?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Memphis, Tennessee, probably scared me more than, you know, Detroit did. Like I remember going to a buddy of mine's house like after college and stuff, or after high school or whatever, during college. And he lived on the Memphis campus area, and that's pretty close to downtown Memphis, and you don't want to fuck around in downtown Memphis.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was riding with him one time, and we're just kind of like, I was kind of looking out the window, you know, just minding my own business, and then like the car, you know, the guy that was driving next to us at the stoplight we're at, just kind of just immediately, you know, I wasn't looking at him in the eye or anything like that. He just looks at me and just goes, "The fuck you looking at?" I'm like, all right. And then my buddy's just like, yeah, just don't just keep your head inside the window.
Nah,
It was
that.
one of those kind of deals. So
What
yeah.
you looking at, you motherfucker?
Yeah, and then Chris gets shot.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't ever fearful like for myself or anything like this, but especially because there's no need to be. But I was actually pretty close to some evil shit a few weeks ago when I've been doing this media stuff for Tuck. We went out to Green Bay, Wisconsin, because they were opening up for Cheap Trick, and it didn't like fully hit me until the next day that I was like, oh shit, we are in Wisconsin. I wonder how far we are from the Avery salvage yard. And I looked it up, and the salvage yard was no shit 10 minutes away from our hotel. And I'm like, oh fuck! So it's like I was rather upset that like I didn't see it early enough to tell everyone, be like, let's go to the salvage yard.
There's a dead lady.
Shit. You guys want to see a dead body?
Yeah. So Stand By Me shit in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have actually loved to have just gone, at least just to get a selfie with the fucking sign, you know, just to go out there. I hear they sell like coffee mugs and koozies and stuff that go toward the constant, you know, paying
Constant
for stuff.
not getting fucked over by the law.
Yeah. So I'm like, I would have shown up and bought a shirt or a hat or a cup or something just to, you know, do the thing.
See, Nashville was weird like that too. It's like when I first started going to, you know, see what Nashville was all about. Of course, like when you first get there, you kind of see what Music Row is all about, and you go to your usual, like, you know, Tootsies and shit like that. But then you find out about, and that's like all of the, you know, every band's playing the same wedding band playlist. It's like 1,000,000 tin roofs in a fucking street.
Yeah.
But then you go to Printer's Alley, and that's where like all the strip clubs and the dive bars and all that shit is. So that was like it's like the Jamaica trip where you see like the hard contrast of like certain neighborhoods and shit like that. And I wasn't like it's like I was mildly sketched out because, you know, I was still young and impressionable and shit like that. But it was still one of those, you kind of had that date. There's the danger element to it when you're not used to being in a certain situation. I wasn't in a situation where I was fearing for my life or anything like that, but it was also one of those where it's like, oh, this is a thing.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
So let's go to Printer's Alley when we go to Nashville.
I'd say one of the sketchiest place I've ever been to was actually Myrtle Beach.
Oh no,
Because
shit.
I ran into
Myrtle Beach sketchy? No.
yeah. This is back when they were doing the change, when were changing out the pavilion and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they had classed it up a little bit, but they still left these little dirt poor fucking areas.
Yep.
And we were passing, and so it was busy season. It's fucking smack dab in July. Mm-hmm. And we're passing all these places, and this dude's like, "Hey man, you smoke?" And I'm just like, "No, bro." And he's like, you know, and get you whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, fuck off, dude. And I'm like, in the store, and all the stores are generally the same.
Yep.
They sell like weird ass mugs and knives.
Yeah.
A lot of knives.
A lot of knives with the Confederate flags on them.
Yeah, well, I can understand that, but they also got the weird ones that look like they're made for like fiction movies.
Yeah.
Sounds
like
like
sci-fi fucking dragon
The
killer
little
knife.
the tri blade things.
Yeah.
The fucking blades from like Chronicles of Riddick. It's like, well, these are made of steel and they're shit.
That sounds like some shit you'd find in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Yeah, well, Pigeon Forge is like Myrtle Beach kind of without the water.
Exactly. No, it literally is Myrtle Beach in the fucking mountains.
Yeah.
I'd actually tell you, one of the most fun trips I ever did was a solo trip by myself, taking a Greyhound to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, some life shit had happened. I just needed to get the fuck out of town, and I just hopped a Greyhound and just went down straight to the beach. And I was planning on just like sleeping on the beach and everything else, but it's like my grandfather happened to be around in that area, so I was like, hey, can I crash with you for a few days? But it's like as soon as I just wake up, I immediately just get right outside and just start walking around and just milling around. And that was honestly the most fun I'd ever had, because every time I'd gone to the beach, it was always with my folks or my girlfriend, or something like that. And I'm the kind of person that's like, well, what do you guys want to do? We can do whatever. Yeah, this is our vacation. I'll be happy with anything. Fuck that. I was able to do every little goddamn thing I wanted to do. I hung out 2 hours at the goddamn Kiss Coffee House, literally sat there and watched an entire show they were playing on the TV, just for the fuck of it. Because I'm like, I've got nowhere to be. I get to do this.
Me and my buddies went down there first year of college, and we went to the coffee house because we were thirsty as fuck, and that whole area is hot as hell.
Oh yeah, that fucking like is that the pavilion?
That's part of the pavilion.
Yeah. That big
So
fucking
there's the old
shopping circle.
Yeah, because it connects to the boardwalk. Margaritaville's right in there somewhere, but there's there's a giant movie theater.
Yes, yeah, I've been to that one.
So we decided, we have just done just about everything we wanted to do. It was 4th of July weekend.
Oh, nice.
People were shooting fucking fireworks all week long. We decided to separate because there were 6 of us. Me and my buddy Fred, we went to, and my buddy Jeff, we went to the movie theater, and these 2 lesbians that came down with us, they wanted to go look at the shops and stuff. So they went and did their thing. We go in the fucking theater. Hey, what's playing? Bruno.
Oh God.
Oh no.
So it's like, fuck it. This is new. We saw Bo Rat. Bo Rat was hilarious.
Yeah.
And we get in there, but we get in there early. We get into the theater early. They just let us in. Go, just a theater for you. Just go there. We walk in, and it's the tail end of the movie. Because it was replaying.
Yeah.
So we watched the ending twice, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? I had no idea what that movie was about.
Really?
Going into it, I just saw a poster, and I was just like, that looks fucking stupid.
Right.
Let's watch that. And we watched it. We were like, what the fuck is this? Like the whole like gay wrestling and the fucking...
Like the whole point of that movie is to make everybody uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. Especially the campus. He goes to a swingers party and is like making eye contact with this dude, talking to him, and it's just like, and this girl's like on top of him riding him. She's like, he doesn't want to talk to you, bro. He's fucking me. It's like
With like this fucking 8-pack or some shit too.
Yeah, but it's so fucking funny. But we were coming back, and we kept running to those same fucking shop dealers,
Oh yeah.
who stand outside the wings of the Pacifica or something like that. And they're always wanting to sell you dope of some fucking kind of like every tobacco shop now exists.
Yeah.
Especially when I bought this goddamn thing. He's like, hey, you want to try it? And I'm just like, no, I don't have a thing. He's like, no, try this. And he pulls one out of a fucking pack. He cuts it open with a knife, pulls one of these fucking things out.
Yeah, the Delta 8 probably.
And it was a weed one.
Yeah.
Just blatantly. He knows what I was buying it for, but, but what the fuck?
Well, that's the thing. The Delta 8, that basically works like weed now, and it's still, at the time, it's still legal.
Yeah. But he pulled that fucking thing out. I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to sell me that too. He's like, no.
No.
There's this one place we stayed at in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan where it's
UP.
Yeah, middle of fucking not middle of nowhere. It's like there's a lot of big towns around it, but there's not a whole lot going on for them. Enough to where like one of these hotels, its hook for getting customers and stuff like that is that you can see bears and stuff like that.
That's not cool.
No.
Bears will eat you alive.
Apparently they have a thing where it's like the bears don't really fuck with humans, but if they do, they trank them a couple times, or they have a 3 strikes and you're out rule with bears, whatever. If they come on your property once, trank them, put a collar on them, do it twice, do the same deal again. If they do it 3 times, you got to take them out.
Hey, boo-boo, we're going to this guy's house again.
And
I don't know.
For the 3rd time, Yogi?
Sure.
It'll be just fine.
Boom. Right between the brain.
Sure enough, there's fucking bears just hanging out while we're getting dinner. Just like these black bears or whatever. And they weren't like super huge or anything like that. And
I think they just like to be called bears, Cap.
God damn it.
Were they from Birmingham, Alabama?
Shit.
Shit.
Polar bears.
Oh, did I tell you about that wolf I saw in West Virginia?
No.
Oh, dude, I was riding up by myself, and all right, so when you get over the mountain the first time,
Yeah.
past Princeton, all that. Well, did you ever see the pumpkin fields they got?
Yeah.
So that for 1 year I went up there. It wasn't pumpkin fields. It was like sheep or some shit.
Right.
But there were small animals. Anyway, I'm coasting, so I'm not really paying attention. I'm paying attention to the road just enough.
Right.
But I look, and the sun's about to go down. And I see the tree line move. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I see it. It's an alpha wolf coming out of
shit.
this fucking tree line. And it's about to bear down on this goddamn like sheep or goat or whatever. And I'm like, oh fuck. So I slow up.
So cool.
So I slowed the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I kind of like pull my car over just a little bit. And then I see it. It comes barreling out of that fucking... Dude looked like a bear. It looked like a fucking skinny bear.
Full-grown fucking wolf.
Alpha wolf took this goddamn thing down and was ripping it apart.
Yeah.
And then I saw it like just like a white puff ball going back up in the fucking woods. I'm like,
I think
well, time to get back on the fucking highway.
Yeah, no shit.
I ain't stopping here.
I didn't think wolves got that far down in West Virginia.
Oh yeah, they're timber wolves.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you get all those wolves coming down from Canada, going through UP and Michigan and Wisconsin and Ohio and shit. You know,
We just got coyotes and bobcats.
yeah, we got
in West Tennessee.
North Carolina has a fuck ton of wild cats.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but catamounts, cougars.
Do they really?
Yeah, yeah. That's like Western Carolina has is known for like cougars and catamounts, and I want to say
Aren't catamounts kind of the same thing?
kinda
They're smaller.
different sizes. They have those. They have that weird wisp in their eyes.
Okay.
That weird like kind of like a lynx.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
About to look one up right now.
Bunch of fucking baboos running around.
yeah. Babu. It remembers me. Not Western. Yeah, there's a Western Carolina team called the Catamounts. Yeah, looks just like a mountain lion or a cougar, whatever the fuck you want to
There
call
was a
them.
panther that was running loose around Western Carolina, right near the Tennessee border.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like an actual panther.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
someone
yeah.
like turned one loose and it grew up.
Not like a Florida panther, but like a black panther.
Like a panther from fucking South America.
Oh, a jaguar and shit.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna
Yeah.
fuck with that.
Well, hell, the Central America is known for their jaguars. Mm-hmm. Eating fucking immigrants and shit.
Shit.
Nah, man, when I saw that, I was like, God damn. I'm taking my eyes open. And I saw a viper one time at Brad's place.
We should have gotten Mikey on the show too to talk about what he had about
He'll tell us in a month.
Alaska.
He'll tell us in a month.
Yeah.
Alaska, the last frontier.
No, y'all never been anywhere where there's been like concerns about animal sightings or predators or anything like that.
Yeah, South Carolina, where it borders Georgia and North Carolina. It's a lot of old South people in that part of the country.
Yeah.
But it's a very weird landlocked area because you have to cut through that little part to get to Augusta.
Right.
Or, if you're coming from the north, there's not much of South Carolina you're going to see.
Right.
But it's that top corner. It's filled with fucking just these wild ass fucking animals. I remember hearing a rumor there was like some skunk apes running around up there.
Skunk apes?
Yeah, it's like what they think Sasquatch is.
That's weird.
That's one of the areas where they think Sasquatch is.
Yeah.
In the southern west of North Carolina.
That's just Bill, not shaving for like 3 months and
But yeah, it's just
Whacked out on fucking Sherm.
But like it's not like just got gacked out and fucking just walked in the woods and it's like holy shit, I'm in Augusta. I'm play some golf.
yeah, all the skunk ape shit I'm finding is like you were saying,
Like Harry.
Harry and the Hendersons or like semi-cryptid, lynx and shit like that.
That's what I think is crazy. Is like if I was going somewhere and hear about cryptids, I'm like I gotta see it.
of course.
Like
Mothman.
Mothman. That's the place. Point Pleasant. We passed on the way up.
I would say that's probably the closest, besides all the skunk ape stuff in Carolina, is the closest like cryptid thing we have.
Speaking of like, let's get weird. What about odd places that you felt like just uncomfortable being in? Like any places y'all went to that just gave off a weird vibe?
Absolutely. Actually, most recently on that Tuck Smith run, on our way up to Chicago, night one, we stopped at this gas station, and the gas station had like this abandoned fucking like hotel next to it, like doors open, fucking weeds growing all over it. It had to have been abandoned for like 10 plus years. It was a mess.
Alex, I know you're here.
And as soon as you pull up, no lie, if I'm lying, I'm dying, at least 15 to 20 cats go running. It was insane. We get out of the car, it reeks like fucking a litter box.
Yeah,
it was
cat piss everywhere.
Yes. So Tuck and I were just like, fuck it. We pull our fucking shirts up, we walk on over there, and we're being real cautious just to make sure. But it's like, dude, the whole thing just had like this weird, eerie vibe. Like we were like kind of exploring it. And probably the most fucked up thing in it is there was a dead bird on the ground. But this thing had to be the size of a fucking vulture. This thing was huge. And it was just dead, chilling off in the corner. Mm-hmm. And like as soon as the two of us saw that, we're like, all right, we're getting the fuck out of here.
Shit, it's probably a dead hawk.
Yeah. No, that had just such a weird vibe to it because it was all spray painted up, smelled horrible. And dude, it made the car stink.
Yeah.
Like we were very cautious, kind of watching when we were stepping. We didn't walk a whole lot. Dude, for 10 minutes, the car still smelled like outside because we left the doors open. It was insane.
I don't know. There's definitely places that where you're in the sticks, and you start seeing more and more Confederate flags. Like even here in North Carolina, that just kind of made me just go like, oh, I can't wait to get the fuck out of this area. Let's get the fuck on by, that kind of thing. Cherokee, North Carolina was interesting.
It's weird, ain't it? It looks dead, but it's not.
It does. And we went to...
And it's every time I've been to Cherokee, it's always like dreary and raining and shit.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as I hit the border of the county, rain. And it's just gray like Wyoming. It's so fucking weird every time I've been there.
Yeah.
It's just this rainy shithole, but I'm just like, I'm gambling. But the fuck.
But it's just grandma playing the slots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they actually got a Harris up there. It's a little bit more.
Yeah.
Harris
Cherokee Casino.
Yeah, they got bigger.
See, Harris.
It's no new shopping mall gambling.
So that's kind of how there's a Harris in Tunica, Mississippi, which is right down the road from Memphis. It's like right across the Tennessee Mississippi border, and that was like a big tourist attraction, kind of like Cherokee is over here. That was just the West Tennessee equivalent.
Yeah.
When I lived in Knoxville, there would be like groups that would make a weekend out of going to fucking Cherokee to play the slots and shit like that.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Fucking Vegas was fucking weird.
I've heard Vegas is weird.
The one we started the
because there's nothing outside of Vegas.
Say what?
There's nothing outside of Vegas
no,
except
you're in
for
the middle
Henderson.
of the desert and shit like that. Just a big fucking tourist town. I like Vegas,
but it's just like a bright, shiny rock in the middle of the fucking desert.
That and we were there for like a show that wrapped up on a Sunday, and we decided to check out actual Vegas, downtown Vegas, not the strip Vegas that following Monday, and go to Fremont Street. And oh my god, Monday afternoon and an empty Fremont Street in Las Vegas, you see some weird shit.
Like what?
Just kind of like jacking off. A
little bit.
What did you see?
They weren't jacking off. Just like just homeless people looking like fucking zombies, just tripping out on whatever, and just
they lost it all, man.
Just empty fucking strip clubs with like just like if I was expecting to see like tumbleweeds, just going around outside of it and shit like that. But I'm sure if you see a bunch of people around it, it looks kind of cool and it feels more lively and the vibe is a bit there. But when it's empty, it just feels like deader in hell. It just feels fucked up. Like, oh, okay, this is just this is real Vegas. This is weird. This is uncomfortable.
First going to Brad's gave me a weird vibe.
Yeah.
Because I went up there at night.
I can see that, yeah.
And I'm turning down this road here. I'm turning down this road. I'm getting off the interstate. Okay, get off the highway. Oh, lone little mountaineer mark. I get it. It's West Virginia. I bet you there's something up here. Okay, a little neighborhood. Cut through there. Okay, the houses are getting a little sketch.
Oh, yeah, especially...
There's a dude with nothing but firewood on his porch. I'm pretty sure his porch is made of firewood. He's always got firewood.
I know. I've noticed that. Yeah.
Year around. He must
Huge
be
tarps.
He must be the coldest motherfucker alive. But
cold as ice, motherfucker.
Cold as ice.
He don't pay for heat.
No, he don't pay for shit, probably.
No.
He probably eats wood. But
it's my nourishment.
Then you pull that left into Brad's, and it's just like at nighttime...
Last house on the left?
Yeah, first house on the left for that case.
Yeah, but first and last almost.
Yeah,
except for that one down on the bottom. But
like you turn up here and it's just like, okay. And this is before you did all the lights and everything, before you did the driveway. And you're just like, what the fuck am I driving into? Because they gave me directions and I'm just like, this ain't cool, bro. But rolling up at nighttime, it can freak you out if you're not used to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But West Virginia's got one of the creepiest places I've ever been to. It was at a fucking asylum.
I want to go to that so bad.
That Trans-Allegheny Asylum. It's, dude. When I describe, if you put your hand up like this with all your fingers pointed up, it's right here in the middle where your palms, like right there, and everything around it is looking down at it. Trees, hills, mountains are all looking down at this asylum.
Damn.
The mountain is watching you.
It is, goddammit. The hills have eyes, bro. West Virginia hills have eyes, and they don't give a shit about what you think, because when you go in there, they're like, "Oh yeah, we've killed 100 people here. Like a bunch of people have been beaten to death to get the crazy out of them." They had a big list. They have a giant fucking list on a wall of things you could be admitted for, and it's so fucking ridiculous. Oh, he's here because of the war. Okay, 20 more crazy ass other things, and it's like the war. And the war keeps showing up like 5 to 10 times on this fucking list because of all the fucked up shit we've had to do throughout the years.
I was say this sounds like the MK Ultra list or some shit.
There was one. the first people like at the asylum, if I remember correctly, were women who were mistresses of fucking public officials who put them there because they had melancholia, which is just sad.
Yeah.
The sads.
The sads. Oh, she got pregnant and she must be crazy, or like.
I mean, I'd agree.
Feminine hysteria, which isn't real. One was reading too much, not reading enough.
And this had to have been like the 50s and shit like that, right?
No, 1800s.
1800s,
1890s
gotcha.
and shit like that. And
I'm
then
not
you
well
had
read up on
and then
all
you had
that.
the 50s ones was like, oh, she took too many little mommy's little helpers, or she tried to drown her baby or some shit. Like just some fucking pornography. If you had an affliction of the pornography. And I'm like,
So you're just being too groovy for the public?
yeah,
What the fuck?
just being too groovy, man. If you like rock music, if you associated with non-whites,
Yeah.
that's definitely on the fucking list.
See, there was I
Teaching people to read.
I haven't done any asylum tours or anything like that. That was never in my.
So there's some crazy stuff about it. Like the first person who had AIDS in West Virginia was there.
Oh, wow.
And it's only about 30, 40 minutes from Brad's house, the little town of Weston. The whole town runs off this place. Like back in this place closed in 1996.
Oh wow! It was,
Yeah.
it was actually running that long.
Yeah, it was running like a full-fledged fucking crazy house.
God damn.
But the whole town was wired into this place. Like the town was built around it. Like if you got a phone call, like, hey, hello, this is Trans-Allegheny Asylum. How may I help you? I want to talk to Cap. All right, give me a minute. Click. Your
Right.
phones got wired through there. They
Yeah.
had their own little coal mine.
It's like whoever was the mayor there was like kind of making sure all the finances with the asylum were on the up and up and all that shit.
And there's very weird particular thing you'll notice when you're driving into it. There's no gate in the front.
Interesting.
It's just a road and giant brick walls, but no gate. And like they would have fucking patients out there just chilling, walking around, but none of them would go through where the gate would be.
How would they keep them there?
They didn't.
Guns.
They didn't. Some of them would leave. Some of them would fucking leave the property and like sit on like this. There's a couple people there that were telling like stories written up and said, patient so and so went here to this lady's house. She noticed him on the porch, talked to him for a little bit, made him a sandwich, and then called the fucking orderlies, and they finally came and got him.
Yeah.
But he just sat on her porch. That's all he did, and she just gave him a sandwich. But there's no story that I've seen yet of like some crazy lunatic just bobbing and weaving through the fucking neighborhood, slashing his way up the mountain, or like wearing a bear skin and being like, I am the mountain.
I am the Mountain King.
Yeah, I am the eyes to the
Yes,
hills.
I am those eyes, motherfucker.
But the guy who created it was a very weird man. Had to be because he created an
course.
asylum. You don't have good mental health if you're. I want to put all the crazies here.
Yeah.
No, he built it. It's at an angle, so the most sunlight gets on it. And he believed mental illness was cured by sunlight. Like if you're out,
right.
if you're out in fresh air and nature, it can calm you down.
Yeah.
If you don't have any worries or anything out, but it doesn't cure every fucking mental illness. Now, if you're having a depression, imagine seeing a bright sunny sky and
Oh, it
a
definitely
nice
will
cool
help.
breeze coming in through the holler. I imagine it is nice that you don't have to worry about black lung and getting ripped apart by some cryptid running around like the Grafton Monster
Or an alpha wolf.
or the Mothman
Yeah.
taking your children. Or what was the other one? There was Grafton. There was. They have 3 big cryptids.
Yeah.
One of them's aliens, which is fucking awesome because that's the place I want to go.
Which aliens?
Flatwoods.
Flatwoods. Okay.
The Flatwood Monster. I think I told you about that and you pulled it up on your phone. But it was just these weird looking aliens that this couple who were trying to fuck in the woods saw.
Damn.
I think I've heard that on a podcast before. I've heard the breakdown of that incident on a podcast.
But probably LPN.
Yeah, probably.
But
Yeah.
anyway, it just gives you a weird vibe because the whole town is built around it. And while you're doing this, you have to sign a release
Okay.
to go there. And they do like paintball stuff there sometimes. They try to get music to play in one of the old tiers.
Yeah.
And it is so fucking weird walking through these tiers
Oh, I bet.
because it's all burnt out from when a patient went ape shit and probably burned himself alive. And they had a men's area, violent criminals off to the side, made a bulletproof glass on the inside in case.
damn.
What they would do is they would have armed guard, and if he got took, they'd close the doors and let them fight it out, and that way they couldn't pop a shot off and try to get out. the female workers there do say there's a weird vibe when they walk into it.
I would bet.
Like, there's something that always fall from the ceiling or some shit when a woman walks in.
Wow.
They had a TB area, a TB ward. They had obviously, but they didn't know how TB worked.
Yeah.
Okay. So they built a giant cage around where the Palladium would be. So the giant outside porch area that faces north.
Yeah.
They built a giant cage around it so people could see their relatives who had TB, which only spread TB, which would spread TB. So it's very weird walking through that fucking area, but it is beautiful as shit.
See, the interest I would have would be like just walking through and just, not only like, try to feel the vibes out, but, kind of take in the historical context and all that,
and there's some weird, scary shit. Like, they don't really walk you past. They're just like, oh, yeah, let's go check it out. There's a mannequin dressed like old girl from Evil Dead.
Oh, nice.
But it's called the Awake Room. And what they would do is they would stand you up to where your feet could barely be flat on the ground.
Okay.
And tie one arm to a wall and the other arm to a wall. And you couldn't slouch. So you'd have to stand there like this. If you didn't, your arms would go up and crush your diaphragm.
Yeah.
And suffocate you. So you'd have to stay up.
Yeah.
kind of like crucifying.
Yeah. Exactly like crucifying,
Yeah.
with more steps. But no, it's called the Awake Room. It's like, because it help people who are sleeping all day because of depression. It's like, okay, there's one way to cure it. Kill them.
God.
It's so batshit insane, some of the stuff. Like, even here, I know North Carolina's probably got some asylums that did some nasty shit. Especially in Kentucky. And, like, Kentucky's got some crazy ones, like really bad ones. But no, they built a new one, closed in 96, and they've been trying to renovate it ever since. If I remember right, it's the second largest sandstone structure in the world, because the biggest one is the Kremlin.
Right.
In Russia. But dude, it is beautiful to look at until you take a real up. When you're driving to it, it's like Shawshank. You're just driving into this giant fucking, and it spreads out into tiers and everything. And it's a beautiful staircase going up. And you're like, oh shit. And then you get real close and you're like, oh man, those windows are beautiful. Fuck, that's a lot of bars on that window.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been recreating it and everything. They recreated the bedrooms and stuff like that. And these little tiny rooms, like you'd get. They put mirrors on the fucking ceiling on parts of them so they could like walk past the door and see what you're doing.
Damn.
They had the artwork of the original patients. And like some of it was like beautiful, like Bob Ross type stuff, And then some of it was like, okay, I can see why you're in here. Some fucking Nirvana, fucking Kurt Cobain tapes type shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Like the demons are eating my eyes. It was like, what the fuck?
That was just to get a reaction, bro.
Yeah, he was reading too much. That's what he did. He was
He
reading
was
too
too
much.
much. Then they put him in the asylum.
Because I've heard the same thing about New Orleans. People going to New Orleans. And I imagine you guys have heard the same thing.
Yeah.
About the weird ass vibe you get going through that motherfucker. That's why I don't want to go.
I was fine. I went with Annie Scene one time. They played a show in New Orleans, and yeah, it literally smelled. It still smelled like sewage everywhere. But nah, I didn't really catch too much of a weird vibe from that place.
I was going to ask, what was the one place that y'all have been to where you get there and you leave and you're like, all right, that's exactly what I thought it was going to be?
Good or bad?
Either.
So the most monotonous place I've ever been to.
Yeah, basically.
Because like for me, it was like Dallas, Texas was one for me where it's like I went there for a wedding, and then when I left, it was like, all right, that's exactly how I pictured Dallas, Texas to be. A bunch of rich white people and some
Big
good ass steaks.
Everything's big.
Everything's big.
Even the bridges.
Yeah, I can't really think of one right off the top of my head that was just like kind of so mundane. It was just like, yep, this is exactly what I was expecting. Maybe trips to Atlanta, places like that. It's
Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, I've never been.
It is still just an old South little town, and I'm just like, yeah, I figured you'd be like that, you piece of shit.
That's like most of Virginia, like a lot of like Virginia towns, or like or like the Virginia towns that surround DC.
Yeah,
DC's got a lot of those, like
but
Charlottesville and shit like that.
Because when we went to DC, we cut through we went through North Carolina, the east, and tried to go to DC, which is a stupid way to travel.
Right.
Because you end up near Emerald Point. Mm-hmm. And going through there at the 4th, we went during the 4th of July too.
Oh, fun.
So everyone from the country was there, and this is why I hate Cubs fans. Because the Nationals were playing the Cubs that day. And they're assholes on the subway.
Was this the year that they were winning the World Series and all that too?
No, they were barely making it. They were struggling.
Oh, okay. So they were still being assholes then.
Yeah, but when we went to DC that second time, it was the middle of the 4th of July. We'd have to ride the subway. So our dumbasses barely paid attention to what the fuck we were doing because we were staying in Falls Church outside of DC. We took a subway there, stayed for a while, and took a subway back. Well, we decided, hey, let's go through the Capitol through the subway system.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit farther up. We're on the goddamn subway, and I'm looking at the line. I'm like, no, we're not supposed to go this way. Like to the turnstile. No, I don't think so. Because you get one ticket a day, and you take anywhere you want to go.
Yeah.
Like, nope, we can't go this one. They're like, wow, what's going on? It's going to take us to fucking Boston. That's why I don't want to go to Boston.
Yeah.
Fuck Boston. But I thought it was a very neat system that from DC to Boston to New York, it's all connected. In a weird way.
That is cool.
But you could all just, even post 9/11, you could just willy nilly go from one city to the next, like nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Richmond, Virginia is such just a
Very meh.
yeah. You think you're going to
can
see
see
something,
that.
but you know what exactly you're walking into. Hey, look, there's a Wendy's, there's a McDonald's. It's just like my town, but bigger and more racist.
It's kind of like Stanton, Virginia, the one time I went, where it's just like, it was just kind of like just there. Roanoke was kind of like that too, in my
I've heard
opinion.
Roanoke's weird.
It's a very weird town.
It's like we went to the top of like the highest point where you could look out and like see the city of Roanoke, and it just looked like just
The Star Lookout.
Yeah, the Star Lookout, and we were looking at the city of Roanoke, and it was just like it just didn't look. It didn't have any personality to it when you see it from that high up either.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
I heard, what is it, LA's got that, what is it? It's not a planetarium, it's like a
The
bird.
planetarium.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's a planetarium. It's a telescope area, but you can stand there and look over all of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But an old horror movie I used to watch this film there, and it's fucking batshit.
Nice.
Because it's built to scale and everything. It's a giant movie. It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
What's it called?
The Amazing Colossal Man.
Okay.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, we've watched the cinematic masterpiece before. That'd be a good watch along. You guys laughing, and I'm just telling you to shut the fuck up and enjoy the greatest movie ever made. Why is this is so fucking stupid?
We're gay.
Have you ever you go back to like the dangerous spot? Like, have you ever ran into like a natural disaster of any kind?
Really bad rain trying to get out of Atlanta once. That was about it.
Yeah, no tornadoes or hurricanes or
That
anything
far
like that.
You didn't get no tornadoes out that far? Or?
Had a tornado scare when I was younger.
Yeah,
but
We had one
nothing
last
happened.
week.
Yeah, I know.
Early this week up in fucking North Carolina.
No, we definitely had a couple of tornado scares when I was growing up, where it's like, if something happens, let's get all the dogs and get in this specific closet. Like we
No
always had a
windows.
game. We always had a game plan for that kind of thing.
Yeah, never really had to deal with any of that, thankfully.
Just
No,
uninterested as fuck.
Yep, that's me.
the biggest threat in West Tennessee was just like fucking copperhead snakes or water moccasins and shit like that.
I was thinking you were going a whole
Shoot, who's
different
water
direction.
moccasins?
Say what?
I thought you were going into a different direction. But to say we're going to have to use a lot more bleeps and a lot more. Oh, shits.
No, bunch
Whatever
of
Alex uses to cover up our language.
no, a bunch of farmer kids just trying to fight off the fucking
The boredom.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Fight
feel
off
you
those
there.
I
water
bet I could kill
moccasins.
that goat with a rock. Hell yeah, I could. I think you could too, there, Billy Bob.
And there was like no big predators or anything like that, just like coyotes and foxes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Man, I had a wild fox walk on me one time. It kind of freaked me out because I was just sitting on a porch and it just looked at me and came up to me and kept coming. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing rapid?
Yeah, I
And
wouldn't
he
be.
made that weird. And they make weird noises. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're loud as fuck. And he just wanted food. I'm just like, you lazy bitch. You're a goddamn predator.
So isn't there a rabbit over there you can go fucking get?
Yeah, go tear that motherfucker in half.
Shit.
There's some baby bunnies you can go eat or something, you piece of shit.
Right.
My friend's mom, she used to feed raccoons, and these things got fat. Like that fat guy from Blade.
That fat guy from Blade. Oh, yeah, like all bloated out.
And they
shit
have
like-
hands, like
Yeah, like they can
they
grab
can't
shit.
do this, but they
They
can
don't
do
have
this.
thumbs, but they have opposable.
Like metatarsals and shit like that.
Yeah.
But they'd be out there. She put out cat food and shit for them, and they'd be out there eating it and just fucking it up.
Damn.
And then just be looking at this glass door. wanting more. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I bet you got diabetes, you piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck that noise. I would not have been
raccoons,
allowing that.
We got possums more than anything.
No bandits around.
Bandits.
Yeah, possums would get in the yard every now and then. It'd be hilarious just watching the dogs just bark at the possum, not doing anything, and the possum's just kind of like rearing back and hissing.
Of all
at
the
them.
ones, that's the ones I don't kill.
Possums.
Yeah, because they eat ticks.
Yeah, we never like killed anything that came in the yard except it was like maybe a snake or something like that.
Well, I'd say it was a pretty fun trip down memory lane, kind of discussing the different areas we've been to, what we thought was fun and
Our
dangerous.
country bumpkin asses.
Yeah, I know. Turned into a Halloween episode and then a rant episode, but we semi-stayed on track.
That was a lot of
Any
fun.
other little last-minute things we can think of? Like just not even scary or crazy, but just like a memory in your head of a travel.
Did you have any relatives you traveled to that just went just weird or
No,
anything?
not really. Most of my family kind of stuck close together. We didn't have to do any big
Your
traveling.
family pretty much stayed close together in Tennessee.
Yeah, more or less. Like I wasn't super close. Like more so on my mom's side of things. Like my dad's side of the family was like kind of aged out as I got older.
Yeah, I've got it.
I got some of the different counties, stretched out between like here and Fayetteville.
Yeah, I don't count if it's like more than an hour or two.
Yeah. But I had a great grandma is my mom's stepdad's mom, and she treated us like her own grandkids. And she had some weird ideas about some stuff. And what she would do is she would catch frogs in her yard
Yeah.
and pour lemon juice on them and throw them back in the fucking yard and be like, we're not going to have snakes. And guess what? We didn't have fucking snakes. And I'm just like, you crazy old lady.
Hey, if it works,
And she
it
would grab
works.
chipmunks like from the yard, like just snatch them. Chipmunks, man, those things are fast. And she just
yeah.
snatch them up and be like, what are you doing? And like pet it and just fucking throw it back in the yard.
What did we learn today? All white people are just afraid of snakes.
Old
yeah.
people in general are fucking just nuts.
Yeah.
Man, they saw the first man walk on the moon. If you're that old, you're fucking nuts.
Yeah. No, I can't think of anything specific, like just like best trip ever. I honestly kind of the trips I take to Atlanta sometimes just wind up being like some of my more favorites. Like one time I went and just kind of basically spent the whole day in Little 5 Points, and that was just fun to do. So look, I'm easy to please.
Yeah, because I know you've been to like a lot of sporting events, probably, just like I have.
Try to do like for the longest time I wanted to do that. I'll still do it eventually. Do the college football stadium bucket list.
Oh, you
know,
got
thing.
different ones to go to?
Yeah, I haven't been to Tuscaloosa.
Really?
I really want to go to Tuscaloosa. I know that sounds weird as a Tennessee fan, but you got to, especially since I'm an SEC fan too.
Yeah.
Well, shit, when all this shit clears up, let me know. We'll go down there. I'll drive to Alabama. I don't give a fuck.
Kind of want to check out Gainesville.
Ugh, why Florida, man?
I'm fighting that too. It's just like part of me wants to just
That's
for the
where the Gainesville
experience.
Ripper lives. You don't want to go there. That's where Casey Anthony's from.
What about you, Chris?
What?
Just favorite trip overall you've made?
Oh, man. I would say Brad's every time.
Yeah?
It gets better every fucking time I go.
It really
just
does.
I'll say that too. Those are probably that's my favorite destination spot right now.
Yeah, but yeah, I would have to say that's it because
Yeah.
there's no worry. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter what happens, I can go up there and be like, okay, if something stupid happens that I have to stay here,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. Because
Exactly.
because I could buy a house for like $2,000.
I want to go back to Chicago really bad.
I've never been to Chicago.
I went once,
is huge.
and we only went for a day, and you can't just do a day in
Just like
Chicago.
DC, you can't just do a day.
Yeah,
No, not at all.
I would love to go back to DC. That'd be
I would
a
too.
hell of a ride.
'Cause I haven't
We'll take a Couch Potatoes trip out to DC at some
shit,
point.
yeah, straight from the Capitol. Yeah,
Podding from the fucking hotel room.
yeah. We'll travel through the Shenandoah because it's an easier ride and it looks better.
So, folks, if you want that to happen, fucking get more people to sign up for our
$5.
Patreon.
Yeah. $5.
Yes, get them to sign up on the $5 tier, and we'll actually go do that. I think that'd be pretty fun.
And I'll
Maybe
tell
we'll
you
make
every
you a
stupid
plus
thing.
one if you give us a
Yeah,
$20
enough.
tier.
Yeah, you can be our plus one. You can ride for free. Get your own hotel room, but you ride for free.
Oh man.
I hope you like gangster rap and old country playing on the way.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Getting George Jones and Tupac.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
Well, for this episode of the Couch Potatoes, I've been Alex.
Dang old cap.
And Chris, do you have any sort of final travel thoughts for us?
Get out there, see the world, man. If you don't, you will be an ignorant hick, and no one will trust you.
Yep.
And then the birds will watch you.
The trash man will
The
get you.
trash man get you. Yeah, watch out for the birds, man. They ain't real.